is Ag Week on campus. Coming up next on ATV News.
Cops found the remains of a California woman in this canyon. We'll show you how her dog helped find her.
If you think Aggie Ice Cream is good, wait until you see what USU is bringing you next.
We'll take you to the groundbreaking of this house, modeled after the childhood home of a famous Utah poet.
Aggie football is ranked 7th in the nation in kickoff returns. I'll tell you where they ranked nationally in total points per game in sports.
This is a wild ride, and I'll let you know if this week's weather will be too. And that's no bull.
All that and more, this is ATV News. Welcome to ATV News. I'm Nicole HEAPS.
And I'm Josh Witzel. A Hiram man is in Cache County Jail after being charged with aggravated murder of a California woman. Ed Collins shows us how police were able to connect the dots toward his capture.
Now they're moving in on the car here.
This footage was taken by a bystander at a parking lot in Hiram. It shows officers approaching a vehicle after detaining a murder suspect and his passenger.
You're only seeing part of this. Here's the other part. Whatever's going down is pretty big.
Marilee Cox Lafferty was on a road trip from California, planning to visit friends and family in Utah before continuing to Boise, Idaho. But shortly after arriving in Cache County, she was reported missing. Logan City Police and Cache County Sheriffs began a missing persons search. However, the case was changed to a homicide investigation after police made a pivotal discovery.
We found a dog, and that piece of information turned us in a direction that ultimately solved this case.
Police picked the dog up here on 6th West in Logan. Cox Lafferty suffered from epilepsy and mobility issues, which raised suspicions for police when they found that the dog was separated from her. However, like many points in this case, the next one was miles away.
Cox Lafferty's body was discovered in Blacksmith Fork Canyon near Hiram. According to the county sheriff, this was the lead detectives needed to connect Willis to the murder. This isn't Willis's first arrest for a violent crime. In 2014, he was convicted for discharging a firearm in a Logan Walmart parking lot. Willis served time in the Utah State Prison for the attack, but has since been released. One relative feels a sense of relief knowing Willis has been captured.
Knowing that they've arrested somebody in connection with it, and there's not just somebody out there, it's reassuring for us.
Ed Collins, ATV News.
Aggravated murder is a capital offense, which is eligible for the death penalty. Stacy Robert Willis is being held without bail.
A two-vehicle crash injured one person near Aggie Station.
I was riding my bike and I was on that corner, the top right, when the crash happened. I turned back around and I was able to still see when the cars were both sliding.
The white Ford Focus was traveling east on Friday and attempted to turn left, pulling in front of the Ford Mustang driving west. That witness blocked traffic until officers arrived. Medics took the driver of the Ford Focus to the hospital with minor injuries.
Multiple sexual assault claims within the last year have raised concern about the efficiency of the Title IX office. Caitlin Arunas-Baker shows us what action they're taking to increase your safety on campus.
USU's Title IX office has made some changes, including adding the position for a sexual violence prevention specialist. Emily Fishburne started last week and is working on creating a plan to best help Utah State.
The biggest thing is really just helping students recognize how they can be an upstander or an active bystander in situations related to sexual violence.
Emily will not only be working on USU's main campus, but will be helping all USU regional campuses as well. Other changes include splitting the Title IX coordinator and affirmative action director into two positions, adding a therapist and prevention and education specialist to Savvy, and hiring a fraternity and sorority life coordinator.
The Title IX office, which is located in Old Main, hopes that by adding these new positions, they will be better able to serve Utah State University students.
I think it's really important for students to know they have options and they get to choose what pathway they go down, and that path can change.
If you are looking for help, go to Old Main, room 161. Caitlin Rindless-Baker, ATV News.
Assault claims should be reported to the Title IX office. Visit our website for the link.
September through November is the most common time of year for reported sexual assault cases on all college campuses. Savvy officials say this period is known as the red zone.
Stopping degrading language about women, stopping language about specific groups on campus.
They say it's because of the new school year, when students may try drinking for the first time and are meeting a lot of new people. There are things these Utah State Aggies can do long before assault happens to reduce risk during the months of the red zone.
Stopping degrading language about women, stopping language about specific groups on campus, right? And the judgment, that stopping those conversations is the first step in creating this safe environment on campus.
If you or someone you know experiences any form of sexual assault, you can contact Savvy, CAPS, or CAPSA. You can find their contact information on our Facebook page.
With local elections coming up, Mitt Romney knocked on doors and made an appearance at the first annual Picnic. Zachary Aedo shows you how Republicans are campaigning and trying to get you out to vote in November.
I'm Mitt Romney.
I know who you are.
Hi, this is Casey Snyder. The biggest challenge we have as Republicans in Utah is that sometimes people think we're just going to win without their help. We need people to vote and to show that voting makes a real difference to them.
There's a big old pile of evidence.
So Utah Republicans gathered for the first annual Cache County Picnic, where local running candidates encouraged people to vote while eating and listening to live music.
This was really to get the Republicans' names out and to provide a little unity, get our friends and neighbors out to talk about the issues and generate some excitement for the campaigns.
When we heard that he was going to be here tonight, I said we needed to come. His LDS values are strong, and I know he's got the Lord helping him.
In October, you can expect to open your mailbox, look inside, and find a mail-in ballot. Republican candidates want you to exercise your right to vote, regardless of your party affiliation.
My biggest concern is that not a lot of people are getting out to vote, Republicans or Democrats. Everyone needs to get out and vote.
I think my dog.
Zachary Aedo,
Democrat.
ATV News.
You can register to vote online at usa.gov.
The friends and families of mental illness survivors gather at Liberty Park to spread awareness of suicide. Cassandra Solarte shows us what they're doing to raise awareness.
Community members stand together to remember those they have lost to suicide and to support others that have battled mental illness, sharing messages of hope for those who are currently fighting.
I lost my 15-year-old son, Avery, to suicide 5 years ago. I really don't want to lose any more people, let alone our adolescents, to suicide.
Elliot says this walk shows people how suicide affects not only your loved ones, but your community as well.
Nobody's exempt. It could hit anybody at any time. Just to know that there's support out there is the biggest thing.
Utah's suicide rate has risen 46.5% since 1999, making it the 5th highest in the nation.
Now people from the ages of 15 to 44 are twice as likely to die from suicide than from a car accident.
The American Foundation for Suicide Prevention just launched a program they hope will reduce the suicide rate 20% by 2025.
I am walking for my sister Heidi and my dad. A lot of times we feel like we're just another number, but we're not. We're someone. We're someone's daughter, someone's parents.
Over 5,000 people walk in remembrance of their loved ones and to show support for those currently suffering, sharing the message that every life matters. Cassandra Solarte, ATV News.
This week, USU Food Science gave sneak peeks of the new Aggie Chocolate Factory. ATV's Bronson Tykert joins us live to show you the work that goes into making this new Aggie treat. Bronson?
Josh, these eclairs are made on campus, but the chocolate comes from somewhere else. With the new Aggie Chocolate Factory, they could be using this. I got to take a tour last week before the public.
You want to open up the spigot and put your mouth under and just let it drain in. This is awesome.
Chocolate starts here in these cacao pods, but are grown throughout the world.
After the beans are harvested in the farm,
They are fermented and they are dried.
Only the perfect cacao beans are used if you want perfect chocolate. This roasting machine works like a giant coffee roaster.
By controlling the temperature and time that we use for the roasting, we can control the different flavor profiles in the bean.
The beans are de-shelled in this machine.
Those go in the top.
And the chocolate nibs come out of the bottom.
So, in the top they go. Out the bottom they come.
The nibs are ground even finer.
Everything that we've been talking about here today, the process that it goes through, those tasting notes, all of that has to be conveyed to a customer to get them to decide, I want to try this.
Soon anyone can watch the people in the Aggie Chocolate Factory make chocolate from bean to bar. Shelton says this chocolate can be ground and mixed for up to 24 hours, and having that for everyone to see sells itself. Martini are working to open the Aggie Chocolate Factory next week during USU's homecoming, or next month during USU's homecoming.
Thanks, Bronson. You may have heard there is a labyrinth of tunnels underneath Utah State's campus. Well, there is. ATV's Shani Howard went down there to discover what's in these tunnels and why students aren't allowed in them.
Though it may look like it, this isn't the set of the latest scary movie. These are the tunnels that transfer heat, air conditioning, water, and electricity to every building on campus.
The tunnels were built in 2002, and before then, if we had any problems, we would have to dig up a big hole in campus, make a repair. With the tunnels, we were able to make a repair, most of the time with nobody even noting that anything was wrong.
If you look in your fridge has this kind of a thermostat.
But the tunnels aren't just used for water and electricity. Campus police also use them to keep people safe.
We can use these tunnels for several different purposes. We can use them for disaster management, emergency response. We can use them if we have, let's say, a group of protesters and we're trying to protect someone. We can use these tunnels to kind of move them around.
Accessing the tunnels is trickier than you might think. For police and maintenance workers, it is easy to access, but for the public, they're not so easy to find.
What is easy to find is the ventilation system. If you remove the grate under one of these cement blocks, which are located all over campus, you'll drop directly into the tunnels.
But going into the tunnels is dangerous for anyone who doesn't know their way around.
There are documented cases of these steam pipes failing and killing people down at the University of Utah.
The temperature of the water in these pipes is about 300 degrees Fahrenheit. And if that isn't enough to deter you from trespassing, campus police have said they will arrest any unauthorized person found in the tunnels. Shani Howard, ATV News.
When we come back, Cache Valley is celebrating art from around the world.
And Christy Aachen will have your weather forecast. Your current temperature is 78 degrees.
I'm one unlucky guy. The chance of being involved in a robbery is 1 in 757. The chances of being struck by lightning. 1 in 750,000.
Please fasten your seatbelts for unexpected turbulence.
The chances of being a victim in an airline crash? 1 in 29 million. Hey, could I get some peanuts? The chances of being involved in a car crash are far greater than lightning strikes and plane crashes. And if you are texting while driving, your risk of crash increases 23 times. Now, I may be an unlucky guy, but I don't have to be part of that statistic, and neither do you. Drive responsibly.
Over 100 students gathered before the crack of dawn Saturday morning, all to get a hands-on education on the Broadbent Ranch by checking sheep, playing vet, and working hard. In preparation for the annual Sheep Day trip, students helped out in choosing supplies, including medicine, vacutainers, and dewormer. Then they loaded up everything they needed for a successful day for the ranch. With direction, students caught and doctored sheep, drew blood, and tested for illnesses.
I don't know, just seeing all the sheep, wrestling with them, trying to draw the blood. That's a fun one.
Will flock to Logan's historical district this weekend for the Block Film Festival. Films from all around the world will premiere at the Utah and Lyric Theater. Over 40 different local music groups, including Mama Longlegs and Brothers Brim, will be performing at different businesses along Center Street and Main.
There's so many things people think are only available if they drive down to Ogden or Salt Lake City. But because we have this festival, we're bringing that opportunity to everybody.
Dawkins joins us now with our weather forecast. Christy, it sounds like we have a lot going on with weather this week.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to know since it's been so sunny in Utah, but we'll actually show you a little bit of the hurricane out in the East Coast and the aftermath over here at the weather screen.
Definitely serious out here. These are
When we come back, I'll tell you what volleyball player gets a career high in kills and what Aggie football is ranked in nationally.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Back. I'm AYANNA LIKENS, and the current temperature looks a lot like the Aggie football score last Saturday. Utah State had every part of their football team working. Offense, defense, special teams, all doing damage in this 73-12 victory against Tennessee Tech. Second quarter, Jordan Love floats one to save on Scarver, who makes the catch. Touchdown Aggies. Later in the second quarter, Tennessee Tech punting, it is Jordan Nathan on the return. He cuts back and nobody will catch him. It is a 59-yard punt return, touchdown Aggies. They continue to score and they go on to win this game by a landslide. Not only did Aggie football take home a win against Tennessee Tech this week, but they are also taking home 18 national honors. Let's start the award ceremony with some of the Aggies' highest rankings. The Aggies are 4th in the nation with a scoring average of 55 points per game. The team has forced 9 turnovers this year to rank 9th in the nation and has also ranked 7th in kickoff return yards. Now, individually speaking, senior defensive end Adewale Aoe is 3rd with 2 fumbles recovered. Senior safety Aaron Wade is tied for 10th with 2 interceptions, while junior running back Darwin Thompson is tied for 18th, while his teammate Devin Anderson is 23rd. And lastly, Savon Scarver is tied for 2nd in kickoff returns. You can see these award winners this Saturday as they play Air Force at home. As the Aggies get ready for Mountain West Conference play, we get an inside look at how the team feels going into this week's game.
The Aggies are stopping opposing offenses before they get going.
Like, nobody's better than us, nobody can out-scheme us, nobody can score on us, and that's just the mentality we have.
Offensively, Aggie quarterback Jordan Love uses reps in games and practice to get in rhythm.
You just, over time, you just build confidence with them, with who you're playing with, and the offense you're running.
After the game at Michigan State, these fans saw the potential of this Aggie football team, and these 2 wins gave them confidence going to Mountain West Conference play.
We haven't played a Mountain West schedule yet, and we understand that there's going to be some major challenging games coming up starting this week.
With a Thursday game, Matt Wells and company have no time to rest.
Heading in for a couple days extra here for Air Force this weekend. We'll start preparing for them starting tomorrow afternoon.
Utah State has high ambitions for this season.
We have a goal to be Mountain West champs this year, so I'm excited.
The stakes are going to get a little higher, and the competition's going to get a lot better.
Utah State volleyball finished up their non-conference season this weekend. Early lead before this kill by sophomore Bailey Downing evened the score 8-8. Kill after kill, the Aggies had a team total of 23, with Downing leading the team with 13. But unfortunately, that wasn't enough. Utah State lost 25-21, leaving the Aggies 2-9 for the year. They're now beginning their Mountain West Conference play on the road today, facing New Mexico. Good luck, Aggies. The Grizzlies ride in loud and proud Friday night for their homecoming game. They start on a high note with this jump catch from senior Johnny Parkinson, but the Green Canyon quarterback Joe Digert fires back with this deep toss to McKay Jorgensen, all the way down the 1 yard, the first down, making it easy to score this next touchdown for the Wolves. But the Grizzlies scored in bunches. Parkinson keeps it for himself and takes it in from the 5-yard line to score. Then look at this toss from the 50-yard line to Charlie Jensen. Jensen juggling the ball that turns into a catch that would allow the Grizzlies to take the lead. Final score, 34-28 Grizzlies. Just like volleyball, Aggie soccer also ended their non-conference play this weekend, falling to Eastern Washington 2-0 on Friday and to UC Santa Barbara on Sunday, also 2-0. The Aggies will continue its homestead this week as they open up Mountain West Conference play against UNLV, followed by Nevada on Sunday. You're all caught up on Aggie sports.
Thank you, AYANNA. Some of her most well-known poems included The Centaur, Question, and Analysis of Baseball. The College of Humanities and Social Sciences will honor Utah's most prominent poet by building a house in her name. Services broke around for Mae Swanson's childhood home. Swanson graduated from Utah's Agricultural College in 1934 with a degree in English. The plan is for the home to look like the original. The interior will feature reading nooks, a conference room, a maid event space, and a coffee shop. The back patio will have a community garden and 2 cabins for visiting writers and scholars to use on a short-term basis.
Her work was characterized by exuberance, precise imagery, and keen metaphysical insights gleaned from her observation of ordinary human rituals.
Are you leaving USU in the spring? So is a professor who's been teaching for nearly 50 years. Corinne LaRue tells us what kind of legacy this man has made for Utah State.
During CAS Week, the College of Agriculture invited retiring professor Lyle McNeil to speak.
In my early years, I never thought I'd be a professor. In fact, I never thought some of the things I've ended up doing. But the trail of life is one loaded with all kinds of detours. And it's got ditches, rocks, cattle guards, lock gates, predators, lots of barbed wire. Abrasions and no water holes sometimes, but that's life. And you stick with it and you hang in there.
It was an adventure all the time. You know, I just kind of went along with whatever he wanted to do.
Write the ear tag number on that.
MCNEAL developed an annual field trip to the largest sheep and cattle ranch in Wyoming, as well as founded the Navajo Sheep Project. Dr. Lyle McNeil has received over 59 awards while teaching in higher education, some like the Robbins Awards or Undergraduate Faculty Mentor of the Year Award. He was even named a Carnegie Professor. Now you may be wondering what he is doing after he retires. Bahamas? Beaches of California? Not quite. He's actually staying right here in Cache Valley.
Oh my goodness, I'm so happy I was able to get him before his last year. It seems like he's made such a big impact at Utah State, and so I'm very, very blessed that I was able to bask in his glory.
But I think he's really made an imprint in all of agriculture around here, but specifically in the students.
Corinne LaRue.
Thank you.
ATV News.
Cache Week is awesome, just a celebrate of everything
The College
of Agriculture and Applied Sciences has to offer.
The College of Agriculture and Applied Sciences started their Cache Week in the air and on the ground. With coming to the quad, tractors, and free cookies, the College of Ag kicked off their Cache Week.
Cache Week is awesome, just a celebrate of everything the College of Agriculture and Applied Sciences has to offer.
Join the activities this week, taking a little bite out of agriculture. The tractor parade will begin Friday with the Ag Barbecue Saturday. If you've been waiting to see the new renovations at the Nora Eccles Harrison Museum of Art, well, now you can. The community cut the ribbon for the grand reopening of the Art Museum here at Utah State. The add-on to the building includes a central entrance that takes you into the new lobby and gift shop. Above that is a new upper gallery that allows visitors to see and discuss more of the museum's sculptures and contemporary art.
We were able to add a new lobby, a new gallery space, as well as some new art storage space, which the public doesn't see, but which is very important to us because we have a collection of over 5,000 objects.
All right, and we have Christy back here with us to tell us about the weather.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to know it from how sunny it's been in Utah, but we are going to give you an update on the hurricane and its aftermath over at the weather screen. As you can see, this is a Northeast hotel on the coast.
It's definitely serious out here. These are
Okay, go back in. Okay, we're dropping it. Sorry for all the technical difficulties, but thank you for joining us on this edition of ATV News.
Catch all latest editions of ATV News on our Facebook page.
Have a great week.
It is Ag Week on campus. Coming up